Hello. Well, I don't know why I'm so dark. I'm not dark here, but my skin's really dark here. I don't understand that. But I've got so much to do and so much to show. I've got a jetpack, showing that right now. Well, I don't know how to fly and not have the screen go like that. Huh? Why is it doing that? There we go. Yeah. So I've got a jetpack now, and I've also done a lot more stuff. Let me just turn my interface back on. Let's see. I've moved my system from this wall because I thought it was kind of crowded here. So I kind of just moved everything down here. I changed this lava line, this light, to one line down the center of the hall. And then I kind of made a little room out here for processing ores. And I got my applied energistics set up. Now, aside from the thermal expansion, the applied energistics is my favorite mod. I use it for everything that I can, so I'm really looking forward to doing that. And I've also done some work in here. I still haven't gotten the EU stuff figured out yet. I haven't really needed it. But I've changed these over to industrial steam engines, and they're not getting enough steam to produce full power. So they're just putting out the same amount of power that my commercial ones were, but I've got room to expand now. So I can make this one higher and probably get some more power out of it. I don't know if I'd have to double the size or not, but it's still okay. I've got my other engines for powering my quarry, which I want to show too. I'm producing quite a bit of the ethanol, 92 buckets there. I've kind of tweaked this system a little bit, and I still need to tweak it just a little bit more to handle the overflow of mulch that I'm going to have inevitably. It doesn't really use that much mulch. So what I've done is I've changed these over to insertion pipes. So the wheat and the mulch both come in. I think the mulch comes in the top and the wheat comes in the side. And saplings. So if there is a, say for instance, a sapling in here and wheat comes, the wheat is going to go up into this iron pipe, and this iron pipe only lets things go right. When it gets to the diamond pipe, it's going to go down, and so are the oak saplings, but there's already going to be a sapling in there, remember. So whenever the oak saplings are cleared out, then the wheat that's stuck in the pipe will start to flow in. And if saplings come, whenever there's wheat in here, then they'll do the same thing. They'll just circle around and wait. And the same thing with the mulch. If it's full and the mulch tries to come in, then it's going to come around, go this way through the iron pipe, and then the diamond pipe will send it left. And this iron pipe will send it back this direction, and it will try to go back in again. It'll just keep circling until it's ready. And that might suffice to handle the overflow. I don't see it becoming a problem too quickly, so I'll probably notice before it actually gets all clogged and starts lagging everything out. So I'm not really worried about that. I had to put an iron pipe down here also to keep the saplings and the wheat from going straight back down this direction. So this pipe just makes everything flow left first, and the new stuff coming in doesn't go up into here, it'll go this direction. So that's how that works. I did find a carrot somehow. I'm going to plant it. I think I put it in my ME system. No, I didn't. Maybe I put it in this chest of important stuff. Yep. See, I don't know where I got it. It was just in my inventory all of a sudden after I went. I was fighting some mobs or something, so maybe a zombie was carrying a carrot. I don't know. But first time I've ever found one other than in a village, and I didn't get to see where it came from. This is just where my quarry will come in, and it's just got a. Let me see if I can get this off of here without messing it up. How do I do that? Do I have any facades on the? There we go. If you shift right click with the same facade in your inventory, I think, in your hand, then it will pop off without breaking the thing behind it. I've just got a precision import bus on here, and I did precisions so that I could do stacks at a time. The basic only does one item at a time. Otherwise I would have used a basic. So, I guess I'm going to show first some of the things I've set up with my system. My ore processing system isn't just your everyday bring everything in and pulverize it and then smelt it in the furnace, which is here. What I've done is changed it so it uses the induction smelter to smelt things, because I wanted to utilize the slag that I could get from inducting it with the sand. So all of my ores come into here, and in the back I've got a, or maybe it's right here. Yeah. Oops. Okay, not that one. Okay, this one. This one exports every ore type, I think. Maybe not every one. I might have to get another induction smelter eventually. I don't know. But anyway, all the ones that I had in my inventory at the time go in here. And of course I don't have all the gravels, so I may have to have one for gravel and one for tin. Or one for regular ores. But anyway, they move single items at a time just because it doesn't need to go fast, because this isn't going to keep up. So that will go into this slot here. Then the green side has two inputs. See, there's a green here and there's a green here. So the left side here has two inputs. The left side is a precision export, always exporting sand. And that has a level emitter back here inside behind this facade. That's what that red dot is a level emitter, saying that if there is any slag, let me see if I can grab it. Yep. If there is more than one piece of slag in the system, or just one piece of slag in the system, then it's going to emit a redstone signal telling this not to put sand in here. So this is going to be burning ores, and the sand is going to be disappearing and lowering. Usually it stays full unless there's slag, then it will stop and it will just burn through the sand that it has left in it. And then at the top here I have a basic export, always exporting rich slag. So if I get one piece of rich slag in the system, then it will feed that through, and then any slag that it picks up while it's emptying this out, of course, will get fed through, and then I'll get 3 ores instead of 2 for those automatically. And of course I'm going to be getting this other type of slag. That's not it. I'm going to be getting the slag, just the regular slag, and that can be used as a building material. If you put it into a furnace and smelt it, you get light gray rock wool, and that can be dyed like wool, but it's not flammable, I guess. So that's pretty neat. I don't know what it's, what does it think it's doing? Okay, there it goes. So with this induction smelter, I want it to be completely automatic. So I've made myself an igneous extruder, because now whenever I run my quarries and everything, I'm going to be condensing my extra cobblestone into a separate system, I think. And so I can get like the advanced stuff with the compressed, I don't know exactly what it's called, but I think I built it. Anyway, so there's going to be a possibility of running out of cobblestone, because right now I have just a ton of cobblestone. I keep going to that. I have 6,000 cobblestone. So I'm not going to have to worry about it for a while, but whenever I do want to worry about it, this is set up so that it makes cobblestone with lava and water. The water comes all the way from here, which I have a pond right there, so that just feeds right into here. And then I have the lava coming from my lighting system. Excuse me. And I have a level emitter on this machine that says if I have more than 256 cobblestone, emit a signal, and that will turn off this machine. So I have more than 256, so it doesn't run anything. Over here I have a pulverizer. The pulverizer is set up to say, okay, I'm gonna export cobblestone unless I have more than, which I don't know if I can see it. Am I gonna be able to see it? There it is. Okay, that's going to make sand. So if I have any more than 64 sand, then it's going to set off a signal, which it is doing right now, and it won't put cobblestone in here because it doesn't want any more sand. It's in here. This machine has this level emitter on it, and it will say, oh, that's the slag. Oh, it will always output sand. This one is making the electrum for me. This is the powered furnace, I believe... Okay, yeah. I have a level limiter here for sand because I want glass. So whenever I end up with more than 128 glass in the system, then it tells it to stop making glass. So I have my glass, my sand, my cobblestone, all automated as far as levels go. And therefore that allows me to automate all of my smelting through here, and therefore the slag, and have the possibility of producing 3 instead of 2. The only downside to this system is I can't control what I use the slag on. So I can't, for instance, say, oh, I'm short on this ore, like gold for instance, and I want to use slag to triple my gold instead. Well, this just does whatever it's up next in the queue, but I don't have to ever worry about it, so I like that, you know, rather than just waiting until I have a whole bunch of slag and then just using it up. You know, I'll just automatically do it all the time. So, and I can just transmute like iron down to gold anyway, so I'm not worried about that. So now I also have this system set up, which is pretty neat. This system is for my magma crucible and liquid transposer to produce my redstone energy conduit and my energy cells and my tesseracts. Now the tesseracts take molten ender pearl, and the rest of that stuff takes the redstone, the molten redstone. So I've always had a problem in the past because you need to get the redstone or the ender pearl stuff out of this liquefied, and you need to put that in there, and you need to get the product into this machine. And at the same time, in this machine, you need to put the empty cells or energy conduit. So you can't hook up 2 of these, 1 to each machine, and have it use the same recipe because it has a conflict and it doesn't know which one to use. It doesn't realize you have to use both, so they don't work. So I've always had a problem with that in the past. So how I've solved that issue this time is I'm telling this with this pattern encoder. Oh, and I found out you can hook this directly up. You don't have to connect it with wires. So that's just touching it. This one. So let's clear this. I think that's what this is. Okay, yep. So I'm telling it that for 4 empty energy conduits and 8 redstone, I get 4 full energy conduits. Now, I'm never going to want the empty in my system unless I'm making it, and I'm going to be making, you know, the end product. Excuse me. Just choked there. So I'm going to be making the end product. So the empty cells that I make, I'm going to be doing, you know, the filling at the same time. So I put that pattern in here. Oops, that's not the pattern. Oh, I left it over here. So I put that pattern in here. Into this machine. Whoops. This machine right here. And it says, okay, for 4 empty cells and 8 redstone, I'm going to get back 4 full cells. So I taught the big computer here how to make the empty cells. So there's the empty cell pattern, and that's just the recipe for that. So whenever I request the full ones, this machine will say, hey, I need some empty cells. So it's going to tell this computer to make the empty cells. This computer starts making the empty cells, and this guy says, okay, while you're doing that, I'm going to give this machine down here the redstone. So it gives it the redstone, and it's waiting for the empty cells so it can give this machine the empty cells. However, on this side, I have a precision export bus set to export the energy cells or the energy conduit all the time. So anytime the system over here gets any of the empty cells, whether they be the conduit or the cells, it will automatically put them into this machine. This machine that's gotten the redstone or the pearls from the request automatically outputs the liquid into this machine. So before this machine can get, it has a lower priority than this one. Before this machine can get the empty cells to try to put them in this machine, that won't work. This side has already taken them and placed them in here, and since this machine already has the liquid from this process, it will start to fill those and empty back into the system with the full And once the system recognizes that it has the full energy cells in it, then this guy says, hey, you've got the cells, I'm going to cancel my action because you got what you wanted. I'm not going to ask any questions how it happened, and I'm just going to cancel the request, and you've got your conduits or your energy cells. So I've set that up already for the redstone energy cells, or the redstone energy conduit, and I want to do it for the energy cells because I need those in order to make the thrusters for my jet, or I'm sorry, not the thrusters, is the batteries? HV capacitor, I think that's what it is. Why am I not seeing recipes over here? What's going on? Recipe mode. I don't think I've ever seen it do this. Reset this. This is quite odd. I'm going to have to pause the video and figure this out, and I will be back.